Hi everyone and welcome to Inderes TV. Today we're going to talk about Starbreeze with Analyst Anton Damsten. Welcome.
Thank you.
40 plus pages of equity research, and this is actually more or less one company and one game.
Yeah, so currently Starbreeze receives almost all of their revenues from one game. That's going to change this year when they are launching the next game in the series. But if we could give a little bit of background, so of course Starbreeze was a larger game company, but then they ran into some financial troubles and ended up in reconstruction, and then they emerged from there basically only with this Payday franchise and the Payday 2 game.
And they have been monetizing on Payday 2 for almost 10 years? Yeah,
that's correct. So for 10 years it's been going pretty strong, and then be continuously releasing sort of add-on content and then DLCs. And this has led them to be able to keep it alive then for 10 years. And there's still almost 1 million monthly unique users.
Yeah, so what's the real monetizing model of the...
Yeah, so Starbreeze aims to use these games as a service model.
Yeah.
And for Payday 2, it has looked like the way that you buy the game itself for a base fee. And then they have these DLC packs, which is additional content basically you can buy. And they've been releasing those from between 2 to 4 weeks. And then you also can purchase different in-game content for additional fees.
And this Payday 3 is on its way, and 97% of the revenue comes from Payday 2 at the moment. And there have been a substantial amount of money has been put into the Payday 3 as well.
Yes, that's correct. So I think the vast majority of their development efforts have been concentrated on Payday 3. We haven't had any exact figures on the budget, but they did agree on a co-publishing deal with Plyon, and then there they agreed to invest 50 million euros together. So yes, I think it's been a considerable budget.
And this is really all eggs in a basket, and the release will be in H2 this year, or do we have an exact date of the?
We don't have an exact date yet, so they have confirmed it will be this year, and basically that will be the second half of the year. Yeah. In our estimates, they consider sort of the end of Q3 a likely time point.
But considering the facts about Payday 2, I mean, the game has a substantial fan base, and the model works. But what happens if Payday 3 fails? What's the...
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of risky business.
Yeah, there's of course always the chance when you release a new game that things don't work out as you expect. I think one positive thing about these games as a service model is that also, as in this co-publishing deal with Plyon, that they have budgeted for up to 18 months post-launch. So they intend to sort of keep developing on the game, keep releasing content, and this gives them a little bit more leeway. So they're not just going to release the game and then disappear. They're going to sort of stick to it, and it gives them the opportunity to fix things and improve things if there's something sort of the consumers don't like. I would see like sort of a complete catastrophe. It would almost have to be some severe technical issues that essentially makes the game unplayable.
Okay.
Of course, there's always the chance also that they just sort of do not reach their expectations. But that's sort of the name of the game. Yeah,
yeah. But there's also some debt involved, of course. There's a convertible loan and an ongoing rights issue as well. So could you shed some light on this?
Yeah, of course. So Starbreeze currently has a convertible loan, and it actually consists of 2 parts. You have the convertible loan itself, which is about 250 million kroners. And then you have a renegotiation fee, which is about 160 million kroners. So now, and it basically would have matured in 2024. So right now, Starbreeze is conducting a rights issue where they aim to raise up to 450 million kroner. And from there, then they will use 150 million to pay back the renegotiation fee.
Yeah.
And the remaining part would then be used to invest into the business.
Okay, and that means invest into the game or new development of new games, or?
Yeah, so development into new game, and also then into their third-party publishing business. And then sort of the convertible loan itself, so the owner of this loan has agreed to convert it into shares after the rights issue. And this would essentially leave Starbreeze debt-free. Now, of course, as it's an ongoing rights issue, we don't know exactly how much they're going to raise. They have received sort of guarantees from the largest shareholders up to 250 million kroner.
Okay. And that means that the loan will be paid off and...
Exactly. Yeah. So that would cover at least the loan or the renegotiation fee, and then together with the conversion. So the debt should still be covered. So the question maybe is how much will be available then for reinvesting into the business.
Yeah, and that's a real question. So what happens in the future? I mean, a lot of question marks there if you read the report as well. How do you see the future?
Yeah, so I think currently the focus is on Payday 3.
Yeah.
And then the plan after that is sort of keep it on as a games as a service and continuously develop more content, while the majority of the game developers now start concentrating on the next game. So it's still an unnamed title.
Yeah, and that we know very little about it at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. They did announce basically they're currently negotiating for a licensed IP, and it should be like a recognizable IP that's been used before for movies and games. And they aim to release that sort of late 2025, early 2026. And that's of course sort of when you have a smaller game developer, that's one of the challenges, trying to grow your or to diversify your business. Starbreeze aims to do it with releasing new games and then also sort of starting up their external publishing business.
Yeah, so what about this external publishing business? That's kind of a third leg, but really small at the moment. Yeah,
it's quite small at the moment. So the ambition there is to basically publish all your internally developed games and also externally. Currently, they have sort of agreed with to publish one smaller game that's called The Tribe Must Survive. But they have mentioned that they are looking at other opportunities.
So that could be something for the future as well.
Yes, and I think it depends probably a little bit how much money they raise in this rights issue and how well Payday 3 does. So I think it's essentially they will concentrate on developing their own games, but if they have excess liquidity, they might use that then to publish externally developed games.
Okay, so if you think about the valuation at the moment, I mean, it's how do you even evaluate this kind of setup? One game with the third part of it coming up, and then you have some new, but really a lot of question marks. How do you see it?
Yeah, so I guess we start from the point of basically trying to estimate how well Payday 3 will do and the games after that. Yeah. Of course, there's a sort of a wide range of outcomes, and we have to do some assumptions regarding timing and game price itself. So it's not sort of the easiest of things to come up with something that's realistic. And so,
I mean, it's really hard to predict the future for anyone, but I mean, almost, but sorry.
And that's something we try to take into account and create sort of a scenario. We believe that would be somewhat realistic, and then applying different valuation methods. Of course, sort of in the near or the medium and near term, the financials will fluctuate in line with the years they release games, or sort of be higher when they release new games and lower when they don't.
And details about all this is to be found in the initial covering.
Yeah, of course, we write some more detail there.
And we will send a link below so you can all look at it. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but continue.
Yeah, no, so of course, as the financials fluctuates a little bit, I think we are leaning a little bit more heavier on our DCF model, sort of to cut through the fluctuation. And also there are some different non-cash charges in the coming years that also sort of muddy the waters with the income statement a little bit. Yeah, but then, and then of course, I guess all this leads to our recommendation, which we currently have an accumulate recommendation and a target price of 1.15 SEK. Yeah.
And you believe in the possibilities of Payday 3?
Yeah, I think it's, we believe it will be a commercial success. The question then is what does that really mean, and how many copies did that translate till? But we believe that it will be. due to basically the strong brand it has and the strong following and the success of the previous game. And I think we will already see that now. I think Starbreeze announced that over 1 million people have put Payday 3 on their wish list on Steam, which is one of these larger internet game shops.
Yeah, so that's really something to know in advance. Yeah, thank you,
Thank you,
Anton, for all these comments.
Yeah.